Hi, my name is Andrew Glover of the Raiders, and you're watching Vegas Junkeez.
Man, we are here with a special show today. We've got Andrew Glover with us. Clearly, I don't need to tell you what team he played for. Well, he played for a couple teams, but
Special player.
it's all about the Raiders.
I don't know what team you played for. I don't see it.
The Raiders are the only ones that matter.
That's right.
Tip my hat to it.
It's pretty exciting moving from Oakland. Are they the first team that's actually had 3 cities? Has anyone else been, right? Oakland, LA, and now Vegas? Has any other team done that? I don't think
Only
anybody's
one we
done
can
that.
remember in recent past, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Good question.
So you're in Vegas. You live in Houston, but we're gonna be seeing you.
yeah, quite a bit. I'm going to be doing a lot of community service, a lot of working on relationships, strategic partnerships with the different people, meeting new friends, having the opportunity to go out and meet and greet the fans, taking pictures and having a good time. Just integrating, our people into the Las Vegas landscape.
When you were playing, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do when you were retired from playing on the field? And was this part of your big plan?
Yeah, I think it's finally being manifested now. At least when I was playing, I did a lot of community service work. I was nominated for Man of the Year one year for the Raiders organization for going to a lot of different places in California, all over the state of California, actually, Wairika, California, Eureka, California, Redding, Salinas, places that I don't even remember going because they were on my schedule. And we were going to different places, helping different people. We were doing turkey drives. We also went to hospitals, local YMCAs. I think we were responsible for the YET program in Los Angeles as well. So my time in Los Angeles, which was from 1991 to 95, we did a lot of community service, and I carried that over into Oakland. When we got to Oakland, I not only played for the Los Angeles Raiders, but I played 1 year with the Oakland Raiders before I moved on to go to Minnesota Vikings.
Where you played with my buddy Mo Williams for a minute.
I most certainly did, and he's a very fine gentleman and a fine football player as well. We were happy to have him on the team, and he was very productive for us. So I think 1 year he was like the special teams captain.
Yeah.
So that's a very prestigious, position to hold.
And so you live in Houston. Have you been in Vegas during the summertime yet? What's worse, Houston summer or Vegas summer?
Oh my gosh.
The humidity
Oh
or
my
the
Humidity to deal with over
I
there,
think
right?
Houston,
That's two different extremes.
I think in Houston, but Vegas, I've been to Vegas when Vegas has been hot as well. Matter of fact, I was here right before the grasshoppers jumped around. I was here right a couple of days before that happened.
So you didn't get any
That was
I
a
didn't get
phenomenon.
any. I left and
Dude.
I
That
went
was a
up
phenomenon.
over
That
to I think we were in
Nothing I've ever seen
LA.
before.
And so it was pretty hot. I remember it being pretty hot because I took a couple phone calls outside. And I don't think it's as hot as Houston, though. Houston, it renders you powerless.
Yeah.
So I was still able to move around, and then when you render powerless, you just don't come outside during the day.
Right.
Everything that you have to do happens in the evening.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Vegas too, but we just get used to it.
I was ready to move out when the grasshoppers came. I was literally one more day of grasshoppers, and
It
was
was
a wrap. I was
terrifying.
done.
I don't-
Sorry I had to
terrified.
bring that up and
No,
remind
it's
you of
okay.
that.
That was
No,
rough.
I work outside at a pool, and they were constantly around us to the point where they would hitchhike on our shoulders from
Right.
like the table to the well. They were all over the place. It was pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Customers were terrified of them. It was something I've never seen before. So.
It was like a horror movie.
was a horror movie.
It was no good.
So how excited are you guys from coming Oakland to Vegas?
I think the team is really excited. I know that the people in Vegas are really excited, and this is a match made for both parties right now. I think that Vegas showed a lot of respect, and they really wanted us to come here, and we really wanted to be here. So we're going to make that partnership great. We're going to come in here and do the best job that we can do as an organization to try to put the best product on the field, and we're going to have people working off the field to merge those relationships so we can know and understand each other better and integrate, into the Las Vegas landscape and become, friends and business associates.
Yeah. As a player, when the Oakland Coliseum, it's no secret. It's a little run down. It's a little, it's not up to date as maybe some of the other stadiums. Where they're moving into here is state of the art, incredible. I mean, it looks like a spaceship. As a player, does that help them? I know, you know, they're professional and that they show up to win, but it's got to give you a little extra excitement, right?
Well, yeah, of course, it certainly does, because you remember that on the road when you go to other people's stadiums, and you go to Texas Stadium and you see what they have, and you see how their fans respond to what they have, and how it's such a disadvantage for you at that time, and so you expect to have that that's called home field advantage and or 12th man. So that you know, and you know, we have everybody wants to come and be a part of it. So that stadium is going to be sold out, and that's the great thing about it. You know, it's going to be sold out for a long period of time, and people are going to have the opportunity to be in a state-of-the-art facility, see some great football, you know, experience a lot of up-to-date things that's happening in the stadium and around the stadium, and food and beverage and entertainment as well. So I think it has a lot of flexibility with, you know, the way they have it set up, not only for just football events, but for other events that's going to be coming to Vegas as well.
You know, they call the Dallas Cowboys America's team. I think the Raiders could actually become the world's team. I really do, because they were in LA, they were in Oakland, now they're coming to Vegas. Vegas gets everybody, right? Vegas gets France,
That's
Australia, Canada, people from all over the world come, and then the casual fan or the non-fan that's going to go to Raider games now just as something to do in Vegas.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be really
event.
interesting to see how that all unfolds.
It's going to be another great experience. It's going to be another thing that you're going to have to put on your to-do list when you come to Vegas.
I
and
agree.
it's going to bring people to town earlier, and it's going to keep people in town later.
Oh, for
so
sure.
that's sure to be an economic, you know, benefit.
Have you been to an NFL game yet?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Not one game?
No. But with the Raiders coming into town, I feel that's going to be the moment that
We're gonna
the
have to
cherry
get that
gets
changed.
popped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove by it yesterday and I saw the slick, beautiful black glass they're putting already on the outside
Yeah.
of part of it. It's going to look so nice.
Yeah.
It just looks welcoming. It looks like, you know, Vegas sexified it. Like, it made it look more appealing. I just hope it doesn't bring the bad rep from the fans down. That's what everyone's a little bit afraid of. But, I mean, this guy's been around forever. The Raiders is a pretty solid team.
Have you gotten to go on the construction site yet and taken a little tour yet, or not yet?
I will be going as soon as it's probably still a little hazardous to actually go, but I will be part of a group that will be touring, you know, the stadium and looking at it and talking to, you know, some of the personnel about, you know, how we could, you know, collaborate with people outside the stadium to get them into the stadium. So it's a team effort, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's going to generate a lot of excitement, and obviously it's going to generate more capital. So we wanted to make it the best experience that we can as an organization, and I'm sure Vegas wants to put their best foot forward. And I think we're in a good position where, you know, we're going to make that happen.
And the college team's playing there too, right? UNLV is going to be playing there. That's got to be a crazy, like, if you're, can you imagine being like 18 years
No.
old, you're going to college and you're playing in that
not.
stadium? Like, what a thrill that's got to be.
Right, that's going to be unbelievable to have the opportunity to be in the locker room and to get dressed in real NFL lockers and showers and up-to-date, you know, facilities for taping and you know, preventative maintenance, probably cold tubs, the whole nine. It's so detailed. It's so much more behind what's on the outside as what's going to be on the inside, and that gives you motivation. That gives you motivation to want to go out and win every single game, and it's going to be exciting to have that opportunity.
How much have things changed from when you were playing, which is really not that long ago? But
25 years? I would think
it goes
so.
quick, man. It goes quick.
Well, 2000, it's 2019, so 2001 was my last year. So
right.
really
Yeah,
it's
so
about 18 years.
How much has things changed where, you know, from the way the players are treated, or the not treated, but more the things that you have access to, you know, whether it's the weight room in the locker room, like is all
Nutrition.
that kind of
Nutrition.
Okay.
Nutrition has changed. The laptops on the sideline, so we can see real time what's happening on offense, what's happening on defense. The ability to make adjustments is happening faster and faster. So technology has played a real part in the game, and as well as the new rules, regulations, and guidelines regarding safety, player safety is very, very important. So at least they're making an attempt. The International Football League is making an attempt to help minimize injuries, head injuries, and things of that nature and career-ending injuries and stuff like that. So I think it's good for the league. I think that the entertainment value has been magnified. I think that the receivers and the quarterbacks and the rules that's in place right now allow it to still be an exciting game and everybody to have a great experience.
Do you think they should keep Thursday night football or get rid of Thursdays?
I think it should be based on the ratings. If people love to watch football on Thursday night, I think they should keep Thursday night football.
What about like on the injury side, or like last night I saw Mahomes got hurt. That's just part of the game, though.
Those
right?
are unpredictable circumstances. If we knew all of that stuff hindsight, we could make all those changes ahead of time. So I think that the current way we have it is it works out fine. Nobody's real given a clear-cut advantage. One team don't have to say where I don't have a game this week or next week. When your schedule is set and you know what you have to do and where you have to be, that's no bigger or no less than somebody else's schedule. That's what it is, and you have to try to win these games to get in the playoffs to go to the next level. And I think it makes it more difficult for somebody that's hard to say right now, really monopolize and win all the games every year and go to the playoffs. I think it gives us an opportunity to have parity in the league and for somebody else to come out of the woodworks because they might have a better injury situation, or they may, strategically have their plan is working for them and somebody else started good but are failing now. So I want the impression that I don't know who's going to be in the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I don't want to know at the beginning. I want to find out at the last minute who's going to be in the Super Bowl. But, with New England, carrying that, carrying those titles around, it's kind of hard to, strip that away from them right now.
How does that guy keep doing it? How does he even still, he's going on the year 19th season, maybe 20th season? I feel like Brady's since 2001, right? 2001, Tom Brady started?
Yeah, it's great coaching, great conditioning, and you have a formula that's working for you and not deviating from that formula. When you're dealing with personnel and you're dealing with, how you want to handle internal issues. I think, that is why they are the king of the hill. And, they're hard to beat. Until you beat them, then you can't say anything about it.
I won't mention any names, but when you see some of these players that have a lot of trouble off the field, especially in the last, couple weeks, whatever, do you feel like the urge to reach out to some of these guys sometimes and go like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, how are you blowing this?
It's the age of social media now. And in my day and time, we didn't have that to rely on or be a distraction of. And I would say that certain people are not cut out to play for certain teams or certain organizations, and that's a reality. Every person that's in the NFL is not interchangeable to every team. That is something that is you have to highly adapt to, and you have to really be an unselfish player and have the team concept. And I think that person that is unselfish and thinks of the team first, I think that person goes further or has the opportunity to go further than somebody that comes in and demands all the attention. And with all the attention, a lot of times come a lot of distractions. And, in the game, you need to be focused and you need to have minimal distractions. And everybody who's on the team need to feel like and want to feel like the same thing that I'm doing, everybody is doing, because we're a team. And when we go on the field, then we all function as one solid unit that has the opportunity to do big things and be productive. So it's no I in team. And that's what, I really stick to and I have discipline to.
Now you're coming to Vegas to work on helping the community. You were talking about that a little bit before we had the interview. Can you go into that a little bit more?
Sure. I'm going to be working with Chapman Dodge. We have, for Christmas coming up, we're going to be having toys for over 1,000 kids. And I have, talked with some personnel at the Raiders about being associated with that and being able to give the kids whatever we can give them and show them that we care as well. So that's just one of the programs that we're going to be, flagshipping. We're also going to be going into high schools and talking to some of the players and sports teams about what it takes to get to that next level from whether it's high school or junior high to the next level, and not only how to get to that next level, the discipline that you have to have, but when you get to that next level, how do you maintain?
Right.
It's about maintenance. Getting to that next level is just one part of it. You have to work as hard to maintain that as it is getting it. So, and they have to realize that at the time that they're different. And when you're a student first and then an athlete, that means you're capable of being a student and then taking on another extracurricular activity and trying to excel at that. When the regular student, it's impossible. It's almost an impossibility. So that kind of person is a really strong person at that, from that standpoint. But we want to make sure that when we do have those people, that we inspire leadership in them and put knowledge in them, so that if they're in that position and they're a leader right now, they can turn around and help the other people coming up when you're not around. Because whenever I come in the room and talk to kids are going to look at me and look at my jersey and say, oh, he knows everything. He's been to the NFL, he's drove big cars, he's got money. Teacher, beat it. And I'm going to come in and tell them, no, that's not, how it goes. This is how it goes. Your teacher is there to teach you, and that's a very important role model. I am a role model for you as well, but that is a role model that's with you every day.
Right.
Your parents are role models. Your local preacher is a role model. So I'm reiterating, what I think should be put into those kids to bring them up to make them the future leaders of America.
Wonderful.
You talked about discipline. How hard is it when you come out of college, you're young, and then you start signing these big contracts and making a lot of money? Is it hard to stay focused and not kind of let up? Because I feel like a natural instinct would be like, I made it. Now I get some money. Is it hard to keep your eye on the prize and stay focused?
No, it's not hard, because the team is counting on you. And every time you go to practice, you're working your butt off because you want to have an opportunity when you get in the game to execute a play that's going to help your team win.
Right.
So you don't want to slack off, because when you do get the opportunity to make a play and you're not ready, then it's going to show. It's going to show, and you don't want that. You don't want to be not prepared. So all of it is being prepared for your moment, because at any time a guy on the bench, if somebody in front of him get hurt, he has to be in. So in every meeting he has to be. Although he knows he's the backup, I have to be attentive. I have to know what my game plan is. I have to be ready. So if somebody gets hurt or goes down, then I could integrate my talent into this, and we don't miss a beat. We still have the very highest expectation.
Right. What's the actual career span for
About 3 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
The average.
Average overall
You're
for
kidding
any
me.
player, about
Yeah.
3 years.
Due
Yes.
to injury or just what?
Just due to 3 years. That's it.
Dude, that's enough. That's
Whether
all we're
you're
saying. 3
injury
years,
or
we're
you
done.
didn't make it because you weren't good enough and you got cut, or
Yeah. Wow,
or
I
you
know
didn't meet the
that's
numbers, or your salary didn't fit within the cap. So when you have to
There's
get
a
that number
show-
down.
I didn't know that, yeah.
There's a show called Hard Knocks that you've probably never watched,
Probably
but
not.
You should watch it, because
Okay.
it's pretty fascinating seeing the journey of. It's a lot of guys. It's their camp, basically training camp, and you get to see there's guys trying to make the team. There's older veterans trying to get maybe
But
one
it's like
more
a show
year.
or like a reality?
Yeah, it's a reality show,
Okay.
but it's the
It's
real
actual
deal.
happening
But
live.
it's legit.
Yeah. They take up an NFL.
It's
pro
your
team.
opportunity.
Yeah.
You're not on the team. You just have an opportunity until you might go in with 70 people, have to get down to 55. But that's 70 of the best people you could find in the world. So you got to keep looking. You got to keep practicing and keep doing different stuff to find out the 55 best people out of that 70. But those other people know they have to go. And so all the internal workings and all the things that go on and all the people that you meet, the relationships that you establish, during the whole time that you're working that it's a possibility that person next to you might not be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is that the most stressful part of the season, that training camp? Is it
I
all
would think
just-
so. It's one of the most stressful. The other most stressful thing would be like being on a team that's 0-7 right now.
Right.
That's, when you have to get up and work every day, you have to go to the grocery store and you have to stay motivated. It's hard because you're losing, and you're not a loser. You're a winner. If you were a loser, you wouldn't be in the position you're in. You are a winner, but we just haven't put it all together where we could win win some games, and that's demoralizing. You keep working and working and working, and I think it starts with getting up and looking in the mirror. I think it starts with self, and I can be on a team, and if the team is not successful, rather than pointing the finger at somebody and say, this is why we're not successful, this is why we're not successful, this is why we're not successful, I look in the mirror and think, if I played at 90%, I need to play at 95 to 100%. In order to help this team, win.
Yeah.
I can't point out anybody else and say you didn't do this or you didn't do that when I wasn't 100% and be perfect. And that's what we strive for the game. In the game, we strive for perfection every single time, no matter what happens. If I caught 7 passes and missed one, that one that I missed is going to haunt me more than the 7 that I caught.
Of course.
I think people forget sometimes how much you guys really do care about the outcome. Like, I think a lot of people think, like, oh, they get paid so much money, they don't care, it's just a job. I don't think they realize, like, some of these people on social media and stuff that start writing crazy stuff, like, you do care. Like, all these guys, they want to win.
No, your livelihood depends on it.
Right.
You got wife, you got kids, you got bills, you got cars, you got that depends on winning and getting paid. So you have to care about that, because if you don't care about that, and if you will say you're on a losing team, next year automatically all these guys that I played with, probably half of these guys are going to be gone. Right. Absolutely. You just don't know what half. You just don't know what half side you're going to be on.
Right.
You need to make sure that you're on the half side that's staying.
Right.
And not the half side that's going to be going, because it's the inevitable that if you are 0-16 in the league, that half side on the other side is gone.
Where's a typical post-career for a football player? What do they usually
It's
do?
difficult. It's very difficult.
Go into coaching? Do they go into acting? Do they go into?
We have a lot of talented football players that play today and back when I played as well. Now, I happened to transition. I went into the fast food. I owned and operated 3 Sonic drive-ins in Houston, Texas, a national franchise. So that's. I looked at some other opportunities with Krispy Kreme and some other Burger King, probably McDonald's, but Sonic gave me an opportunity to come in and be a part of what they were doing, and place the restaurants in a place where I could work them and be a part of them, and I went for it. And I was very successful at that for 10 years. But that's what part of about me coming back is teaching the guys how to transition from the NFL to the real world, how to start a business, owner, operator, and then come back and tell those guys, it's possible, you can do it. You see, because football is just what you do. It's not who you are. God gives us a lot of different talents.
Yeah.
So in this world, if you only got one talent and you're trying to make it may be very difficult. You have to work with all your different talents to bring in the necessary capital and income you need to live on a daily basis. So you kind of pushed out there to say, okay, what else is it that I can do?
Next?
Yeah, other than just this 9-to-5 job. I got a lot of time, that I could, work on my other trade.
Nat, your sweater covered your mic a little, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, tangled it. There you go.
Sorry.
What about, is there a lot of pressure from family and maybe close friends on the financial side along the way of your career, in terms of, people need help, the extended family, I guess? Is there a lot of pressure on that to try to
For some people it is. For some people it is. For mostly the people who have a low socioeconomic status before they even got to the NFL.
Right.
So that was one of the real reasons that drove them to be dedicated like that, to try to get to that point. But, it could happen, with people who had money already. There's going to be people who come out of the woodworks, and you're going to be a target, so you have to, protect yourself from that. And now it's even more difficult than back in the 90s when I played, because we didn't have social media.
Right.
And we didn't have things that could happen on a moment's notice here. It could be all around the country, all around the United States.
Yeah.
Whatever happened here,
Nothing goes under the radar.
You assault somebody, you get a DUI. It's over the airwaves
right.
in a matter of minutes, and people need to, the players they know that now, and they have seminars on that. So there's no need for me to keep saying that over and over. But that's the reality of what it is. People are gonna try to set you up in bars. People are gonna, I'm 6'7", 300 pounds now. people always, it's always some guy that wants to, walk up to me and say something snarky or try to find out what my reaction is to see if I'm the football player on the field that would react right now, or is this the retired guy that says, "Nah, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna lay in the cut." But don't push him too far because you might not want to get caught in a telephone booth with it. It could happen to you. Yeah, I try to avoid as many of those situations as I can. But you do have those. Our priority is the goodwill part of it. The fans that watch me, the people that love the Raiders, coming out and showing them that you can still have another great experience with me, person to person, take pictures, sign autographs, ask me a couple, questions about football. I may not know about football, but I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And, we've all had a good experience.
Who were some of your favorite teammates along the way?
Too
many to list?
Favorite, yeah. I loved all the guys.
Yeah.
I really did. I loved all the guys. I loved the quarterback more if he threw me the ball more, of course. Or I love a good coach who think I can execute this play and he give me an opportunity to execute it and it works. I love you right now, but it's only temporary, because the euphoria you get after you've done something on the field, run a long run, catch a really difficult pass, or score a touchdown, which was my, the pinnacle of what I could do on the field is score a touchdown and hear that crowd yelling and feel like, I've done something that has helped put the team in a position to win. And I, not we all put it together, all 11 people did it, but I came up and I scored the touchdown, and this is great. I mean, I'm having a good time, but it's only momentary.
Right.
Yeah.
It's way, way up. And you're like, yeah, I did it, we did it, but the game is not over, and then it's back down. And it's like, okay, you did that. When you go off to the sideline, a couple minutes later, you were right at everything. You're the king of the world. And then when you go to the sideline, you're like, okay, I got to put that behind me.
New
And
play.
if I get another
New moment.
opportunity, that new moment, it's just done.
Do you guys have a little alumni situation with the players? You guys get together a lot?
Yeah, sure. We have once a year the Raiders have the alumni come back doing training camp in Napa Valley. And, they facilitate our expenses in the hotel and take us to eat, and we all get together and take pictures. And, we talk about, what's going on in the league currently and former business and how the organization could best help us still, as we progress into the Las Vegas market, and as we reach back to former players and help them and work with current players and help them as well. So our organization is real good about that, and we're making a renewed commitment, to get all of that stuff done while we're here in Vegas as well.
When you first time you stepped on the field as a professional player, first time you scored a touchdown, do you get to enjoy it? Is it kind of like the little kid in you? Does it come out just inside, even if you're not showing it? Like, oh my God, I just scored a touchdown! Like I made it! Like I did! I'm assuming a childhood dream, and wow, I just scored a touchdown! Like against the Patriots or whoever! Do you go through that?
It's momentary.
Just for that split second.
Just for that split second, because you know that in your career you're going to need a lot more of them to sustain and stay around.
Right.
So actually, I scored my first touchdown in Tokyo, Japan, in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh wow!
In the preseason, and Steve Berline threw it to me. So
Steve Berline.
I had my name in the paper in Japanese.
That's amazing.
Please tell me you still have that.
That right there, I don't have it actually, but I know it happened because
Yeah.
they was covering the
Right.
NFL, and we got a chance to watch sumo wrestlers, and the Raiders are a good organization about taking us internationally. They do international games now, and everybody think that's new. The Raiders been taking us internationally since I was playing.
Yeah.
And so if it wasn't for the team, I wouldn't have the opportunity to go to Spain, Mexico, and playing football, and Tokyo, Japan. So I really, after I scored that touchdown, I thought, oh man, I'm in my rookie season. I'm in the preseason. I was born for this minute. This is what I'm here for. I scored the touchdown, but I was disappointed because I got a penalty for a low block on another player before I scored the touchdown. So after I scored the touchdown, it was not like I was freed up and I was like, oh my God, I'm in here. I kind of just was like, I told you I could do it. I know I could do it. I flipped the ball. It was like, that was a bonehead move to do what I did to hurt the team. So
Right.
I didn't let my success minimize the mistake that I had made. I was more concerned about the mistake that I had made during the course of the game than the
man,
touchdown
what a,
I had actually
twist.
scored.
Did you happen to see a couple days ago, there was a college game, I'm not sure what team it was, I saw it on Instagram. A guy made an interception and then ran the wrong way. Did you see this
What?
the other day?
Oh,
Literally
really?
a couple days ago. And
That's
like,
a
he got like
play.
25, 30 yards the
got
wrong way.
disoriented.
Wow.
Yeah, and
What
his
happened?
own guy tackled him. His own guy tackled him.
Well, with
Wow.
reason,
yeah.
like, bro, stop running.
That's gotta be.
Bro,
Like,
it's-
somehow he just got turned around out
I'm
there.
glad he tackled him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no.
But I mean, that's
That's
just gotta
sick.
be.
I did see the players do the bye when they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he got fined $13,000 for that. I forgot who it was.
Oh, there's like 3 of them. There's like 3 or 4 of them that lined up and did the NSYNC bye.
Oh,
Yeah. in
that's
the
not what I was
NFL.
thinking of.
Right,
I was
right.
thinking of someone waved goodbye.
Oh no.
Someone caught a pass and he waved goodbye to the defender and took off and he got fined.
He got
Yeah.
fined for that?
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Did you get fined ever for anything?
One time we were.
What'd you do?
I was in a different time
Give us
zone.
the juice,
we,
the
I
dirt.
think we got to. We were going to Florida to play Miami Dolphins, and I think we went in on a Friday, and we had a practice. Maybe we went in on a Friday. We got there that Saturday, and we had a practice, and I went up to the room and took a nap. And the time changed. The bus was supposed to leave. Was to go do the preliminary practice stuff, and I got left by the bus. So once that happened, I was sick, and in the fine system, it goes from like 100 and it doubles, depending on your infraction. So if it's minor infractions, go from 100 to 200. The next time you do another infraction, it's 400. The next time it's 800. The next time it's 1600. The next time it's 3200 and 6400. So that was too much money for me to be giving back. I'm not giving anything
Right.
back. It took me long enough to get here and make this, so that was my one and
Right.
only fine my whole time in the National Football
They wasn't
League. I
even on
only
the
had
field. They was just
one
because he
fumble
missed
too,
the bus.
so I'm good with the ones there. I only had one fumble
Okay.
in 10 years in the National
Wow.
Football League. Yeah. It was
What
some
was
hard
your
hits.
What was your happiest moment on the field? Do you remember?
Probably not, but I've had so many of them. I think, one of them was probably when I went and got a chance to go home and play for the New Orleans Saints, and we won the first playoff game in the history of the franchise. I think that was fulfillment, that was closure, and it wasn't like it was a major thing like you won the Super Bowl or
Right.
anything. But for 35 years, that organization existed, and they never got past the first round of the playoffs. That was nuts in that time and age. And for me to be from Louisiana, and my hometown to only be about 55 miles from New Orleans, and to be a part of a team that went from 3-13 the year before, and then the next year was 11-7 and won the first playoff game in the history of the franchise. That's historic. How could you not
Who was your
think that
quarterback?
was
Who was your quarterback?
Jeff Blake started out being the quarterback.
Oh, wow.
He got hurt. Jeff Blake started out being quarterback. Then Aaron Brooks ended up coming in.
Oh, right.
Now listen to this story. We played that first playoff game that I told you about that we ended up winning after 35 years. We played against the St. Louis Rams. The key about the St. Louis Rams was they were the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yep.
From 99 to 2000.
Yep.
To 2000, 2001. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They're coming to us and play us at our home in the Dome. We don't have our starting quarterback, and we do not have our starting receiver. What are the chances that this team beats the defending Super Bowl?
And that's the team that had Marshall Falk, right? They were stacked.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
assuming you guys
correct.
were the underdogs in this situation.
That's correct. Yeah, you assume that right, and so I thought that was an opportunity to have a leadership moment. That let every single body know that no one person was more important than the other person, because it took everybody on that team to pull together to get that victory, and that always stayed with me a long time. That was a job that I don't think that anybody really wanted to have at that time, to be playing the St. Louis Rams, defending Super Bowl champion in the first round of the playoffs, with no starting quarterback and no starting running back. I just thought it was absolutely one of the greatest moments in my career.
Wow.
Amazing. How do you tune out all the fans? What, 30 to 40? More probably.
More.
How many people in the arena? 60?
Yeah, I mean, it depends where they
40,
are.
60?
Some of them up to close to 100,000 people.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
72,000 in
do you
probably
hear them?
Minneapolis. Oh yeah, you have no,
Or do you
yeah.
just
You hear the
completely,
chirping too, the bad,
Kansas
you know,
City,
bad.
Kansas City, you can hear, wherever you're up close and on the sideline, you can hear a lot of the bad. But when you're on the field and you're in an opposing stadium, Seattle Seahawks or wherever, Denver Broncos, when we're doing snap count, you cannot hear the snap count. You have to watch
Really?
the ball. You can't hear no snap count. How are you going to hear it? And these people are yelling to the top of their lungs. So, and you can feel it on the field vibrating. So when you're doing different stuff, you have to be very keen. You have to be, everything you're sensitive have to be on high alert. And then a lot of times you have to anticipate. You looking at the quarterback do his head like this. I'm looking at him. I know when I have to go. I'm probably looking out of my peripheral vision down the sideline. So it's intense on the field, man. You can't hear nothing. You can't hear yourself think.
How much trash talk is there between the players, like when you walk up to the line and things like that? Is there a lot of that?
Yeah, it's a lot of interaction. It's a lot of interaction. Always been in the league. You always got a guy on the other side who come from another place who's gonna let you have it. He knows somebody's name. He knows what you ate. He's hollering out anything he can to get a competitive advantage. And it's just a matter if he can get you off your game and get you not to concentrate and focus for a fraction of a second, because a lot of stuff happens between the time that you come in and call a play. When the play comes in from the sideline, the quarterback comes in and calls the play in the huddle. When you break that huddle, you got to remember the play, you got to remember the snap count, you got to remember how you're going to release off the line. And this is like in 1001, 1002, 1003. How you going to release? And then once you get off and start, if it's a pass route, once you get off the line and start running, you have to know immediately if it's man or zone, because your route could change just like that. If it's man, I go up and run across. If it's zone, I go up and hook. But you don't have, and then you got a guy standing over you, ready to slap you in your head. You got to remember the snap count. So
Then you got the other 10 things they have to think
oh
about.
wow!
And
But
this,
it's a lot to think about in that time frame. But it all happens so fast within the first 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. And that's how you get graded on film. You know, right away when you come into the meeting room, that's your efficiency rating. That's part of my efficiency rating. That's enabled me to be a starter at 3 different teams in the NFL. The Los Angeles Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, and New Orleans Saints. Plus I played fullback one time. I started the game at fullback in Oakland. Yeah. Our fullback got hurt. Our fullback got hurt. They asked for volunteers. We didn't have a body. Another guy, they had drafted the guy in the first round to play tight end, so he was playing tight end, and my load wasn't heavy, so I raised my hand and told him I would do it. And sure enough, I think it was maybe against the Dallas Cowboys in '96. One of those teams that I started.
That's my team.
I started at fullback. Is that your team?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry.
But
this show is over,
no,
buddy.
But
we can get this over with now.
I have made the Raiders my secondary team.
No, we're not playing secondary to nothing.
I have
no way.
Completely detach.
You gotta do something.
By the way, I'm not against detaching.
You might need
Dallas
to
at this point.
go into therapy.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do. Go into therapy.
I'm okay dumping
and
Dallas
see if it makes sense. Well, you're a fair weather then. They call you a fair weather fan then. You going on what's hot? Who's hot now?
Yeah. Well, you know what happened when I was 7 years old? I met Tony Dorsett at a Dodger game. We had season seats at the Dodger game, and my dad knew Tommy Lasorda and all the players, and we were back in the locker room, and we met Tony Dorsett, and he gave me a football, and I became a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that the only criteria?
That was the only criteria.
You had to get around. I'll give you a little fake ball or something, and we'll sign something, and then you fall in love with us all over again.
Yeah. I am friends with Marcus Allen and Willie Galto, so I guess I am Raider at the core, I think. I'm Raider at the core.
If you think you're not Raider at the core, you got to think about it. You either are or you are not.
Okay, coming over to the silver and black. I'm divorcing the Cowboys because of this show.
No.
Okay?
I've
like
talked
that.
you
You've
into
converted me.
I've talked
Just
you
like
into
that?
it.
And that's
From
what you're
all
in
your
town
whole
for.
entire life?
That's what
That's what
why
you're
I'm
here for.
That's why I'm here.
What is there any regrets you have along the way? Anything you wish you would have done differently?
No.
No?
I love those guys. I love the locker room. I love competition. I love winning. I gave everything to the game that I could give, and I had fun doing it. And I made a lot of friends, and it was a lot of fun. We won a lot of games. We lost games, but I learned a lot along the way. And I think I learned more in losing than I learned by winning, because having adversity, made me a bigger, stronger person and had better character. And so in the loss, I would look at opportunities to get better, where if I was faced with that again, I would know how to overcome that, and then I would get a different outcome. So that's kind of how I looked at it, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think if it's done and done the right way, it's a terrific game. It's been around for a long time, and I think it's going to continue to be around for a long time. I think we've enhanced the entertainment and shock value, and we've allowed some celebrations back on the field, and allowed the fans to be more interactive. They get the stands, they get to the stadium early, they get to look in the locker room, they get to see cams, different cameras with different players. They get to, that is all positive for the game, and helps helps promote relationships.
What are your thoughts on like taunting and all of that? Like, I think it's good for the game. I like it, but
Well, I think if there's a penalty system for it, then it should be fair and equitable across the board. I think it's a different realm between taunting and celebrating. I think you ought to be able to celebrate, but I don't think you can go in another guy's face and do something or say something that would really get them out of their game. I don't think there's really place in the game for that.
do you watch the show Ballers?
Yeah, sure. With The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
How close is that to kind of what it's like?
Some of those concepts are pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, all based on, true stories. Obviously, you're not going to ever know, every single thing of how it happens, but they give you the basic framework of how something could have happened and use fictitious names. So,
Right.
it could be, rendered, pretty realistic.
Natalie doesn't watch any TV at all,
I
so she has no
know. I know
clue
the- I
about
know the
Hard
show.
Knocks, Ballers,
I
none
know
of it.
of the show.
Okay.
I don't. I've
Well, we
never
got to
seen an
get her
episode.
caught up on
I
that.
just
Right?
know. I know
Yeah.
these shows exist. I know they're out
It's about to
there
be
in
2020.
uniform.
This
I'm
is
just-
2019 and 2020. We have
Listen,
television.
I watch my shows. I have my things.
Netflix.
I do, Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Okay. But I finish a whole season or series and then I move on to the next one. I'm not like hopping around trying to catch everything.
What does your non-football fun look like? Are you watch Netflix? Do you get hooked on shows? Do you binge watch? Are you a video game guy? What do you do?
I'm a CNN guy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a CNN guy. I'm a news guy, local news. I'm an outdoors guy. I
Really?
like watching fishing, bass fishing, hunting, stuff like that. Sometimes, I just get bored with regular TV. Some of the Netflix stuff, like Last Chance U with the football team in Mississippi, where they had these athletes who had their last opportunity. If they mess this up, they're going to be on the streets, or you got an opportunity to go someplace else. I thought that was fruitful. I was really interested in that and watched that a lot. But basic TV, I'm not really overly interested in. Like I said, CNN, I'll watch that just, like a madman sometimes to try to, I got, when CNN is investigating, I got my own investigation going on if something happens. If somebody
Do you
does.
watch America's Got Talent by chance?
Sure, I watch that sometimes.
Dang.
I do.
See?
I watch it sometimes.
obsessed.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with that show.
Yeah, I do,
So
because
good.
these are real people who've tried their lifetime to do something and
Right
to be
on.
recognized
I get it.
and to be recognized for
I get
something that they think nobody else could compete with at
Yep.
their level.
And they're
So
putting it
if
out
I
there.
go in and show these people that I'm the best in my genre that it is, I'm gonna finally get the recognition
Yes.
Yep.
of that I've been working on for. And that's all of us
Yep.
really.
And even if they don't win, I love watching someone that just gets their moment.
Yeah,
Like someone that
'Cause
gets
you're gonna
their
be able
one
to
moment where
utilize
they
that to
nail
still
it. Like
push
you-
your agenda forward.
Right.
You're still going to be able to utilize that.
Right.
to push your agenda forward. I went on, I competed. It's a competition. We're
Yes.
competing against each other. So that's always a good opportunity, and I like it.
Yeah.
If you had to pick who's going to the Super Bowl, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going?
Are you asking for both teams or just pick a team?
I want
Both
the Raiders
teams, who's
to go.
going?
I don't care who's going. I know who I want to go.
Could the Raiders go this year?
Yeah, the Raiders could go. Raiders
Yeah?
could go any year. Anything could happen.
Right.
Pat Mahomes just got hurt.
I know.
But we
know.
can't jump the gun. We got to worry about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers right now. So it's a possibility. It all depends. It's week to week what the injury report is, who gets hurt, who's ready to go out and play, who's ready to execute, what team gets hot in the middle of the season toward the end. It
Right.
might be a team that started off slow and
Yeah.
comes in at the end, and everybody's standing back like, what the heck happened? But they finally, got their act together, and now, they're going out and being efficient and effective on the field. So I think injuries has a big thing to do with it, and I think, the pathway is there. I think that organizationally, everybody has to be focused and on the same page, going for the same thing and taking them one game at a time and not worried about what's happening outside or any distractions.
Do you go to the Super Bowl every year?
Do not. Never been to one. Yeah,
Have never been to one?
I've never been to a Super Bowl. I've never played in one, and I've never been to one. So, I mean, at different times, it's inconvenience, but I don't have, I'm not in a position to go somewhere where that I've been, is like my nemesis. It's like my nemesis. Like I never got there, so I'm a field player. I play on the field. I can't see myself sitting in the stands watching this. I'd rather watch it at home like everybody else. So,
yeah.
but I'm bitter about it. So that's the whole thing. But not just the Super Bowl. I don't go to just regular games, regular NFL games.
Do you watch
and
them?
stuff.
Interesting.
Sometimes.
More highlights than games?
More
Or
highlights than
just
games.
kind of keep up with what's going on, but not watch a whole game?
By the way, I probably watch the ticker at the bottom
Yeah.
to see what's the current events
Yeah.
and what's going on. I'm always watching that.
It's interesting. Most of the players that I know, more so on the baseball side, they don't watch games. When they retire, they don't really watch
like,
games.
we're done.
Some of my baseball friends that played in the major leagues, they'll go to a game, but they won't really watch it on TV, except playoffs and World Series.
The
Then they'll
life
watch.
has
Like
been
a
dedicated.
burnout thing,
Yeah,
type of thing?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I can see that.
That's why I think it's important that you don't push kids into sports in little league early. Just because I played football, I didn't never push my kid to play at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I only let my kids play in junior high when they got to 7th or 8th grade, but you had to earn the opportunity to play. So you got to take care of your business at home, your chores, you got to go to school, you got to make good grades. And oh, by the way, you like that game and you want to do that, then you're granted the right to play that game. But you have to understand that when you decide to do that, those doing your chores and taking care of your responsibilities academically, you still have to hold that in high regard first and foremost. And then it's a right and a privilege to have the opportunity to be, an athlete.
Yeah.
It's the way I look at it. Everybody may
that's a
not
great
look
way to
at it
look
like
at
that, but because your athletic days are going to run out. They're going to expire at some point. And what are you going to have to get you over it? I'm a college graduate. I went to the University of Grambling State in North Louisiana. I played football, basketball, and ran track and field, and graduated on time. I went to every summer school. I went to every summer school they offered. They paid for it, so I went, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice.
What? While playing all those sports?
Yeah,
What was your track and field event?
Good for you.
triple jump.
Really?
I was the Southwestern Athletic Conference triple jump champion my junior year. In my junior year in college, I won 3 championships, one in football, one in basketball, and one in track and field. And I think that's what pretty much got me on the map as an athlete, that somebody out there saw that this talented guy was one of the top in the nation, and we were willing to give him an opportunity, and that's what the Raiders did for me. And I came in and proved them right, that you do have the right guy, and I am a team guy, and I can come in and convert my skill set from college to the NFL level and be productive. As a matter of fact, I was drafted as a wide receiver. I was a wide receiver in college. I was 6'7", 222 pounds, and I was converted to a tight end once I got to the Raiders.
Did you accept that conversion like with open arms, or did they have to talk you into it?
I accepted it just like I accepted my check. It wasn't an option. I didn't have any options to accept it. It was probably based on speed. We had world-class guys who ran track and had Olympic medals who were playing wide receiver.
Right.
And if you are not as fast as my wide receivers, then you can't play wide receiver on this team. And I wasn't a world-class sprinter. But I did, I was big and strong and could run fast and catch. So we have a position for you. So I integrated into the position and made it, made it part of me and made it successful for me.
Good for you.
And what about now? Do you play golf? Do you any?
No golf from years in the NFL. I just go out and take pictures when we play golf. I go out and take pictures, shake hands, talk with the corporate sponsors, things of that. I don't want to be in a position where I'm swinging the golf club and throw my back out or throw my shoulder out or anything like that. I don't have anything to prove anymore on that competition level. What I did is done, and I'm proud of that. So and I get a chance to relive that when I get out and I talk to the kids. I get a chance to relive that when I'm in the community and doing stuff. For the community and in hospitals or what have you, and when I'm at watch parties, when I get a chance to, meet the fans, hug the fans, and sign autographs.
Well, man, thank you so much for sitting down with the Vegas Junkeez today.
Thank you for coming.
Here at the Trago Lounge at the Tropicana.
Trago.
And can't thank you enough, and I hope we see you again.
Yeah, you definitely will.
Thanks
for having me. We had
Andrew
a good time.
Glover.
Woo.
The glove. Give it to me.